just walk off and call it a day. So, Brian, thank you very much for bringing me dear and loyal friends. It's the first day I got here from Ireland in 1986. I have a lot of dear and loyal friends from those days. It's a testament to the community that the first day that I got here, I made friends, and they've stayed my friends ever since. And they were kind to me. It didn't matter. They were kind to a stranger who come from a different country, to a stranger who loved America, genuinely loved America, and loves this county that makes up our district. I suppose I should start by saying, when somebody says, well, why do you love this country? I love this country because I don't speak Russian or German, because the U.S. Army and the U.S. Air Force were in Europe. Now, that may not mean a lot to you, but it means a hell of a lot to me. It has defined my relationship with America is one where this country has been a force for good throughout the world, has never let down other countries, and has come home at the end of any problem or engagement that we've been involved in. That's a first. Now, when I came to America, I was an immigrant, and I came with a green card, and I became a citizen after waiting my 5 years. And this country provided to me the money to go to law school, the loans, which I'm still writing those checks today, paid off recently. This country provided those things to me. But this community, more than anything else, made a home for my family and I, and my mother and father, and now my son, my brothers, all of us provided opportunities, and quite frankly, love. I don't like to say that to the lads out there, but yes. And I can honestly say that when I'm standing up here, that people here care more about me than anybody I've had the good fortune or courtesy to spend time with. Now, given that that is the fact, and that is my basis of how I start off appreciating this community, it came as a hell of a surprise to me when I found out exactly what the situation was with clean water. You know, I had an opportunity to have a civics lesson with my son, and it started inadvertently about 2 weeks before Memorial Day. And what I used as the example was the water releases. And I said to him, now son, this is how it works. We have a problem. The people in our district, and this county makes up most of the district, so I refer to it as the county because it's our community. The people in this county are now scared, not worried, not concerned, not this might be an issue or something that we're now scared that it's here and now. The thing that people talked about said, oh, those are wild-haired crazies over there talking about, oh, the river may turn green one day and stay green forever. Well, they weren't wrong, and they weren't that wild and crazy, and I was one of those people back in the day. I said, oh, no, that crazy environmentalist doesn't know any better. Well, they were the canaries. They were, unfortunately, they were the canaries who were speaking truth to power at that time. I didn't realize they were speaking truth to power until I looked into it, and I said, son, listen. What happens is our representative, our senator, will come on after the story and explain to us what they're going to do and how they're going to solve this problem. I said, that's how the system works. They're our voice in towns. And at the end of each one, and this went on for 2 weeks, we had a red tide water release, we had the anonymous release, then we had the blue algae, and then we were coming up to the last release on the Friday before Memorial Day. Now, the irony of that is beyond discussion tonight, I assure you. Now, each story we watched on the news, nobody came on. No representatives, no senators, people who cared about us. I just saw members of the media talking about it was awful, and I saw friends and people who we've grown up with saying my business is ruined, saying you can't fish, saying I can't swim, saying that the federal government says that a raccoon's paws or a mosquito's wings cannot touch the water that comes out of Lake Okeechobee into the Everglades, yet our children may be doused in it every weekend. That's when I stopped and thought about it. And I said, well, this can't be right. At this point, I was saying, please go on and lie. I don't know, see politicians or something, but I said, at least lie so I can finish the story for myself about how it works. In the adult phase, where this is how it's supposed to work. Well, they didn't. And we Googled it, and I couldn't find it. So I took the next step, as a lawyer does, and said, let's look into this. Let me see what the operative facts are. Why would they not come on? I mean, we all know politicians in the general sense, would show up. and not miss an opportunity to, this is terrible, decide this thing, and give me money and votes, etc., etc., I care about you. But they didn't. And I said, why would they do such a thing? And when I looked into it, it turned out that the mercenaries we had hired to fight for us in Tallahassee, this war on water, and that's about it, this war on water, were being paid by the enemy, by the very people we were fighting against, were giving them more money than us. That our elected officials didn't have to show up door to door and humiliate themselves by talking to actual voters, by talking to members of the community, by sitting down with their friends and saying, these are the truths. These are the truths that are self-evident. That river should not be polluted. When we were kids, we used to paddle those little islands out in the river, and we filled our canteens with water out of it, and we cooked soup and whatever else. And nobody said anything was wrong with it, and nothing was wrong with us from drinking it. Those days are gone. Now I just say to my son, don't get in that water. Here's a really frightening sign that says, if you get in the water, your flesh will burn off, you'll get some horrible disease, this, that, and the other. And it was when Dr. Stephen Brown from the Lee Memorial Health Board talked to me, and he said, Jason, you know what, beyond that, he said, I know you're a lawyer, and you're on the planning commission, and you've served there for a while, and you're concerned about people's property values and everything else. He goes, but it's gone beyond that. He goes, you know, this is now the love going to happen. He goes, now we have a public safety issue. He said, and I'm a physician, and I don't care about those issues that you worry about, retirees with reverse mortgages, property values collapsing, and the last disastrous recession, and a situation where we're walking right into a micro-recession that's going to be the end of our local economy. And I mean the end for good. When everybody who just built themselves back up again, when that river turns green and all the people who came down here in more foreclosed houses, when those people see there's going to be another problem with the likes of BP, except where it's actually here, not that it's on the beach, but it is actually here, they're watching it on CNN. When they sell our houses, the rest of our houses are going down the toilet. Property values are going to collapse. The contractors who work will be stuck again, and when they don't hire the subcontractors, we'll be stuck with them again. And once the property values start to fall, we start to lose our tax base. And once we lose our tax base, we start to lose everything that goes with our... I mean, even with the school board, I was over there last night for their interviews. You know, we're paying on the order of, I think, $1 million a month in interest. Maybe actually slightly more than that to cover the schools that we need, and we need to build more schools. But we are not doing any of that. We are not doing any of that if we don't clear the water problem. Now, if we have politicians, and by example, there's a certain senator that I'm running the same job as, if we have politicians that are taking their money directly from the good people at Bull Sugar, or not Bull Sugar, the good people at Sugar, they don't care about us. There's no reason for the people over in the village of Wellington where they live, Polo Pony capital of the USA, which is also a great surprise that I got when I was researching. Those people don't care about us, and their only job is to make sure that they have people in office that aren't going to stop the current situation. The status quo. When you hear about, oh, I am for water, or I am going to do this thing, say, when are you going to buy the land south? No matter what we do, we have to purchase that sugar land. Now, there's a larger reason, but there's a lot of lawyers here, professionals, people that I've come up with whose counsel and opinion I trust. But when it gets down to constitutional issues, it has gotten so bad that we passed a constitutional amendment that obliged the legislature and the executive to buy the land south. Not only that, to tax us, collect the money, and buy the land south. And we watch years go by. The last couple of years, nothing new. They're just blowing it on commissions and studies and everything else, because their whole plan, is just a talk. And when C-43 is ready, they're not going to do anything. They'll say, now look at C-44, shiny thing. And then when they're done with that, they say, oh, city basin, shiny thing. Oh, now it's septic tanks, shiny thing. They never talk about the South. And there's a reason, ladies and gentlemen, they never talk about the South. The South is where the checks are coming from. The South is where all of them are getting their livelihood. Without the South, without big sugar, they have to come and talk to us. And if it's by any example, by the way, I've been received by people and the comments that are rules of decorum prohibit me from stating in front of my son Mike. If what they are saying to me door to door on McGregor and Chiquita and out in Lehigh is true, they're not going to get very well if they have to come and talk to us. So they're in a survival situation, and their survival situation has now approached near treason. They are selling out nearly 500,000 people. That's how many are in this district. They're selling them out by letting that water be polluted. Because their only order is we know the solution is to flow it south. We know we need to clean that water there. There's nowhere for it to go out except down this river and down the St. Lucie. And God, that's our brothers and sisters over there. My God, they're getting a hell of a run of that too. But then, ironically, they promised us that that was never going to come here, not to worry about it. And just then, as we say, God showed up. And 2 days later, here it is everywhere else. On Roosevelt Channel, on Frank. On Captiva, on Roosevelt Channel across from our house it popped up. And there were some friends who sent us pictures, and I went, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. It's actually on Sanibel. And it's in the Cape. It's in Fort Myers. All the things that were promised would never transpire have transpired. We're now at the tipping point where we've gone too far. That either we do something or we spend the next 4 years getting the last 4 years. And I don't need to explain to you what the concept of geometric growth is. Because in 4 more years, we might as well just give up and be done with it. Because when it comes back around, that river is going to stay green, and it's not going to change one way or the other. Now, I had my moment. I had my moment, that old film Network, where the anchor loses and stands up and says, open your window, shout out at people and said, I'm mad as heck and I'm not going to take it anymore. Well, I had that moment and I said to Babs, I said, well, I said more PG there. I said to Babs, I have had it and I'm mad and I'm driving to Tallahassee right now. I said, because I know I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a politician. But I also know I can take what they'll dish out. I can smile the whole time. I have an anchor in my life. I have my community. I have responsibilities. I have boards that I serve on. I have people that I help, and I have people that care about me. And those people that care about me keep me on the straight and honest because I couldn't hurt them, quite frankly. And that's the sort of politicians we don't have. And we don't have that institutionally now, where we're supporting something on the order of 70% of the politicians in the state. There is an existential risk to the people of this county and this district because of Sugarland. Sugarland and Bonaquisto have us tied up. And there's nothing we can do until we get rid of both of them. That money needs to be removed from the political process. We need honest and true men and women running for offices because they care about their local community, not because they care about having an easy job or getting a no-show paycheck. I mean, look at this. My opponent gets what? By June 16th, it made $74,000 for the 21st century oncology, who also paid $35 million just in March back to the federal government for defrauding Medicaid. And people are like, well, where do we get the money from Medicaid? Well, we can stop defrauding and electing people who are part of it and take the money themselves. In December, it was $20 million they paid back. This is obscene. I mean, how anybody, I was talking to the news press this morning and I said, how could this person not even step down? Have you no shame? Is the classic question that I would ask if she would ever show up for debate. Look, we are winning. We are winning because we see the ads that have come out. Anybody who knows me, one of those things, I said the same thing. I said, you have people lined up to say that well, he's not a cat. Don't like him, he doesn't keep his word, and he's never been good with people, and he doesn't give away any of his time, and all those things. That doesn't happen. And it's because I love my community, I love my friends that are around me, and those people keep me on the straight and narrow. And those are the people I want to protect because they care that much about me. When I'm elected, you will have a senator who's right here. We'll meet you in your road. We'll have a jar with you up in here. So we'll stand up in Tallahassee and say, there is a constitutional requirement to buy the land south and be done with these people and free the entire state from their unfortunate influence and bring politicians back so that we can own our own state, the entire state.
This guy is not an actual politician, because an actual politician would have done 20 minutes ago with that speech. This is a fundraiser, Jason. This is a fundraiser.
One fatal flaw. He's really bad at asking people for money.
But I'm not.
That's why we got started.
That's why I'm here. This is where you go. Now you get the bar in a minute. We're all here for a fundraiser.
So cute.
Most of the people here have heard me ask for money before, whether it's for myself or loads of other people. But this is a guy that actually needs it because he's going up against a machine that is something to rival the cotton gin. It is revolutionary, the sugar fundraising machine. It is a wealth of money deeper than the largest trench in our ocean. And that money goes to keep a process in place that we can no longer have. That was Jason's 30-minute talk at a fundraiser. Brilliant. It was a TED talk. I believe it. So if you want somebody in office that's going to stand up for you, for me, for our children, for the libertarian in the room, and let me point out Aaron O'Brien, who said, I will only write checks to libertarians. And he's here for this man. That's a testament to what fundraising is. And this is a fundraiser. I wrote my 2 checks, and I'll bring more. I'm $2,000 in. Everybody in this room can handle more. Shut up. We got checks on. Everybody in this room can handle to write checks. Whatever check you wrote, if you haven't maxed out, get as close to that as you can afford. Even if you can't really afford it because you need to go to the bar later or you need to go and buy some new sport coat or some new dress, think about what you're exchanging for the future of Florida, for that cocktail or that dress or that big fancy dinner. It's more important to get this man in office than it is to think about yourself. So don't think about yourself. Think about all of us here. That's why Jason's right now. How much of your money did you dump in this? $250,000. He jumped in for you. What can you do back for him to represent us? That's the question. $250,000. What? You're not talking to him. Right? Frankie has written a check. His PA wrote a check. His LLC wrote a check. Ty wrote a check. Evan wrote a check. Evan's wife wrote a check. Ty's wife wrote a check. If I had a wife, she'd written one. Frankie's wife wrote a check. My friend Jacqueline's going to write a check. All right. Farhat's written 2, 3 checks. And when we say write a check, we mean $1,000 check because that's the maximum. Personal or corporate entity. Before you leave, you have to go by that table over there. You can stop. If you didn't bring your checkbooks, you brought your credit cards. There's a form, fill it out. If you want to battle the machine, you help our friend, my brother, Ty's brother, Frankie's brother, your brother. You help him. And you spend that money. Because he's getting outspent 10 to 1. The Florida Chamber, U.S. Sugar, the Fan Jewels. My God. We are talking serious money. Liz Beth has received in hard money that we can trace directly to her, $380,000 from sugar. Soft money, $1.2 million, and the stuff that you don't see that goes from sugar to Consolidated Industries to the RPOF, back to Liz Beth. Money goes into C4s, which is non-disclosed money. It's millions. It's millions. And that interrupts our quality of life. It interrupts our way of life. It interrupts our economy. Everybody here has a job or is a business that is somehow tied to this issue. So do something about it. I love to say in speeches, there are some people that sit in the dock and they complain. There are others that jump in and get wet. Jason has jumped in and he's wet. Jump in and get wet with it. Get wet, write a check, put your credit card number down, and help this man save Southwest Florida.